Hi, this is Monica Delamay from the Office of Early Learning at the West Virginia Department of Education, and this tutorial is designed for teachers as they complete their child accomplishment summaries for children. The first thing I would like to do is take you to the website, which is right here. We have a separate tutorial on our web page for the Office of Early Learning Child Assessment System to teach you how to log on if you have questions about that. So for time's sake, I'm just going to actually go to our development site, which provides us an example of what a teacher would see if he or she had logged on to the PreK Child Assessment System reporting platform. So you'll see things, different items that you would be able to click, and the first thing that you do whenever you come to the screen, of course, is click on Early Learning Scale Child Assessment Reporting Form. Now this is the development site. Data are scrambled, and of course sometimes strange things happen on the development site, and we have this large rectangular box which we are not going to worry about right now. So you'll see that you have, as a teacher, your drop-down list of children, and of course their names are scrambled, but we're just going to start with the first child, and you would actually come down here to what you see is familiar and click the appropriate radio buttons for this checkpoint that indicate where this child is at on the early learning scale. Make sure you save your data with each domain. And then after the child's data is entered, you can either enter all the children's data for ELS and then go to the child accomplishment summary. Several of the teachers in the field have indicated that they like to do the data entry for one child and then go ahead and move on to the child accomplishment summary completion, just because they have all their evidence out in front of them about that child. So after you complete the ELS data radio button entry at the bottom, you would actually click on Data for Child Accomplishment Summary. And these are clusters of the Early Learning Standards framework that you would indicate to families. This is what will be populated on the Family Child Accomplishment Summary, where the child has shown progress, basically. And your evidence that you've collected over time would assist with showing how, for example, with social and emotional development, progress has been shown with development of self-awareness, of expressing themselves and understanding who they are, positive social behaviors. You simply go down and click the radio buttons beside of the clusters where the child has shown progress, and maybe it's some of them, maybe it's all of them. You know, whatever your evidence indicates would be the ones that you would click. So I'm just going to go through and randomly pick some, though you would certainly know which ones met where this child was progressing, and then I'm going to save the data. Then I'm going to go back to Menu, and I'm going to click down here on Child Accomplishments Summary. This is what the Child Accomplishment Summary looks like, of course, and I would use my drop-down box to find the child that I just entered information for, and then, of course, knowing that we were just working with the top child, we're just going to go ahead and do that. So there's information at the top, of course, where you could get a teacher signature, a parent signature, the date. All of this information is populated from WVEIS. Does this child have up-to-date immunizations? There's some blanket form or blanket statements here that you might want to make sure that you go over with your families that you serve of those children in your classroom if they need access to a medical or dental provider. There's also the West Virginia En-ROADS website, which is very helpful for any family who might need state assistance for some of these items listed here. So now you can see with the data for this next section of the child assessment system, social and emotional progress has been shown with, and these are listings of the radio buttons that you just clicked. These are actually clusters of the Early Learning Standards framework, which are your content standards and objectives for West Virginia Pre-K. The areas in gray are blanket statements about what is social and emotional development, what is language and literacy development, math, science, the arts, physical development in Pre-K. And so anyway, you've got this, and this is the component that you would use to provide your go along with the evidence that you share with families. Now this bottom part is where you can add your own information about next steps or suggestions to families. Now one of the things that I caution you on is is that it says here you cannot cut and paste from word processors into the text box. And honestly, that's not the intent of a child accomplishment summary, to copy and paste information from one child's child accomplishment summary to the other. You want to make sure that they're specific to the child and individualized, because if you copy and paste, what you'll find is a bunch of jumbled text that actually doesn't, it's not supported by the application that is running this program. So you can type in whatever you would like to type in as far as next steps and suggestions for family, and then you can save your data. You can lock it after you're finished with that, and it would save then appropriately for that. One of the things you might want to think about doing is potentially absolutely actually double checking your spelling, your grammar, making sure that everything is consistent as it should be with each domain, and providing those steps and suggestions for families. When you're finished with that, you can look at what it would look like in a print view to print for families, and you can certainly do that. You can see here what this would look like, and of course these lines would be completed with the information that you provide for your families to share along with that evidence that you're going to talk about with them. If you want to save this particular report on your desktop or on a flash drive, for example, if you're asked to do that for whatever reason, you can click on the disk here and save it wherever you'd like to on your computer. This information is saved though on the data reporting platform, so you wouldn't necessarily need to do so, but if you feel more comfortable saving it that way, that's certainly fine. We're going to go back, and then you would simply just go to the next child and complete your information down at the bottom for each child, and then print, save if you'd like to. You can see that these aren't completed because you haven't done the radio buttons for the progress yet of that. Remember that the intent of the Child Accomplishment Summary is to be shared with families in a conference or face-to-face. That way you can share information with them. The intent is not to be mailed home or to just be handed to the family, because that way it makes it very difficult to actually share with them all the ongoing wonderful things that the children in your classroom have done toward reaching new developmental levels. I'm going to go back to the main page now. If you have questions, you can email me at my address right here, and I hope you have a good day. Thank you.